Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ श्री राधे।
जय Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe.
जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे।
जय Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe.
जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा।
जयो जगन्नाथ जयो जगन्नाथ जयो बलदेवा जयो सुभद्रमा.
जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय।
जयो गौरनिताय जयो गौरनिताय जयो गौरनिताय जयो गौरनिताय.
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल।
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल.
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद।
जयो जयो प्रभुपाद 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 जयो जयो
जय
प्रभुपाद.
जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव।
जयो जयो गुरुदेव 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 जयो जयो गुरुदेव. आनंद
हरि
हरि
बोल
हरि बोल.
हरि बोल।
जय श्री विष्णु परमहंस परिविकाचार्य अष्टो श्री श्रीमद अभय चरविंद ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद ठाकुर की
जय
जय. ओम विष्णुपदाय परमहंस परिविकाचार्य अष्टो श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद ठाकुर की
जय
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय
नवाचार्य श्रीलास हरिदास ठाकुर की
जय।
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय
ये राधा गोपीनाथ की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की
जय
गौरनिताई की
जय
गंगा माई की यमुना
जय
माई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की साम वेद भक्त वृंद की. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare
हरे कृष्ण
Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare
हरे
Krishna.
कृष्ण।
All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Very nice, Mataji. The son is going to sing this one.
यस
Prabhu, I didn't get his name again. Can you? What is
पार्थ प्रभु जी पार्थ।
Path, yeah, Path. Please go ahead.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahlad
Praladadadaine.
Hiranyakashipurvaksha
Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Ilatankanakalaye.
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha
Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha.
Yato Yato Yani Tato Narsimha
Yato yato yami tato Narasimha.
Pahe Narsimha Hidaye Narsimha
Bahi Narasimha Hridaye Narasimha.
Narasimha Madim शरणं प्रपदे
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपते
तव कर कमल बरे नाकाम अद्भुत श्रृंगम दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
तव कर कमल वरेणाम् अर्पुद श्रृङ्गाम् बलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गाम् येशवदीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
केशवदीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जयो नरसिंहदेव जयो नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जयो नरसिंहदेव
जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय भक्त प्रहलाद
महाराज जयो प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जयो भक्त प्रहलाद श्री श्री नरसिंह भगवान की
जय
श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की श्रीला प्रभुपाद की श्रीला गुरुदेव की जय Okay, let's do Mangalacharan. All together, maybe you can all unmute. Om Ajnana
Om
Timirandasya
Ajnanatirmandasya
Jnananjanaslakaya
Jnananjanaslakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvai
Gurave
Namaha
Namaha
Shri
Sri
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Manobhishtam
Manobhishtam
Stapitam
Swapitam
Jnana
Yena
Bhutale
Bhutale Swayam
Swayam
Rupa
Rupa Kadamayam
Dadhi
Dadvati
Swapadantikam
Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuttapada
Padakamalaam
Madam
Sri
Sri
Gurum
Gurun
Vaishnavam
Vaishnavamsha
Rupam
Nirupam Sakrajatam
Sakrajatam Sahagana
Sahagana
Raghunathanvitam Tam
Madhavaritam
Sajivam Sadvaitam
Sadvaitam
Savadhutam
Sadhutam
Parijana Sahitam
Parijnanam
Krishna
Adam Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Devam
Devam
Sri
Radha Krishna
Krishna
Padam
Padam
Sahagana Lalita
Sagana
Sri
Lalita
Vishak
Sri
Vitamcha
Vishakhanvitam Cha
हे
He Krishna
कृष्ण
Karuna Sindhu
Sindhu
Dinabandhu
Dinabandhu
Jagatpate
Jagatpate
Gopesha
Gopishai
Gopika Kanta
Gopika
Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gauranga Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti
Shabhanu
Devi
Sati Devi
Pranamami
Pranamami Hare
Hare
Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhyacha Vacha Patinam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri
Jai Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda
Shri
Shri
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhara
Gadadhara
Sri
Sri
Vasari
Vasari
Gaura
Gaura
Bhatta
Bhatta
Vrinda
Vrinda
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu, can you share the other one?
Yep.
The verses?
Sorry to miss this one. Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Okay, all together. Narayanam
Namaskrityam
namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam
Narottamam
devim
Devim Saraswatam Vyasam Tato Jayam
jayam
Udire
udirayet
Nasthaprayeshu
nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata
Bhagavate
sevaya
Sevate
bhagavati
Bhagavate
uttama
Loke
sloke
Bhakti
bhaktir bhavati
Nastiki
naistiki krishnaya
Krishnaya
vasudevaya
Vasudevaya
devaki
Devaki
nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya Hare Krishna. Prabhu, can you remove the share screen? Just one
Oh,
second.
yep.
Probably I will share the screen today. I have some other documentation. Okay, quickly, some of you have given the assignment, right? In the homework, sorry.
Yeah.
For the homework? I
Yes,
think it's not
Mahajan.
a compulsory. Yeah, the 12 Mahajans. Yeah. Few of you have sent me this. That's correct. Can anyone tell without seeing who are the 12 Mahajans?
Shall I talk?
Yeah, try to.
Okay. Brahma.
Without,
Yeah, I'm not seeing. Yeah, Brahma, Narada, Shiva, Kapila, Kumaras, Manu, Swayambhanu, um, Prahlad Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj, Bhishma, Janaka, Yamaraj, the
I
last
think we
one.
got all of them, I think.
Yes,
Sukadeva.
Sukadeva Goswami.
Goswami.
Yes, yes.
Very nice, very nice. So how many of you would be able to tell? I thought I'll give a formula so that you can remember, so that we'll not forget it. But Vinay Prabhu told it very nicely. So I was thinking this simple formula, like you take, Brahma and these three children, four, then 3, 2, 3. So keep that formula, 4, 3, 2, 3. I will tell what is 4, what is 3, what is 2, and another 3. Okay. So 4 is, okay, Brahma and his 3 children, right? Brahma, Narada, Shiva,
Kumar,
and
Shiva
4
Kumar.
Kumaras. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that 4 became. Then what is the next 3? Next 3, you think of Ramayana and Mahabharata, some characters from there. So one is Janaka Maharaj. And then we can talk of Mahabharata, Bhishma. And then Sukadev Goswami, who was also part of Mahabharata, right? So those 3, 4, 3. Then 2 is grandfather and grandson. Who's that? Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj.
Maharaj. Yeah.
All right. Then last 3. So last 3, you think of one incarnation. Kapiladev is the incarnation of the Lord. So the Lord incarnates down to the earth. And who is on the earth? The leader is the Manu, Swayambhuva Manu. All the people are under him. So Lord comes to deliver all the people under him. So if you are not delivered, you go to Yamaraj.
Yeah.
So now you will know the 4, 3, 2, 3.
2, 3. Okay. 4, 3, 2, 3. Okay.
Did anyone get it, or you want me to repeat it?
You got it.
Can anyone now tell the 12 Mahajans? No? Anyone there? No volunteers? All are scared?
I can try, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Sorry about the
First,
timing. You are very stressed up, I think.
no,
So
Prabhuji,
daylight
it's
saving
perfectly
happened.
okay.
Yeah,
Prabhuji, I
okay.
wasn't aware of all this
Yeah,
daylight and
yeah,
all.
yeah.
I've never heard
Yeah.
of it before. That's why. Yeah.
All right.
So first, it is four. That is Brahma, Narad, Shiv, and the four Kumaras.
Yeah.
Then you said Mahabharata and Ramayana. That is Janak and Sutta Goswami and Bhishma Pitama.
Yeah.
And then grandfather, grandson. That is Prahlad Maharaj and
Bali.
this thing, Bali Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj.
And the last three, that is first one is Swambhu Manu. The last
No,
is
Kapil Dev,
Yamraj.
Kapila,
Yeah, Kapil Dev
incarnation.
is the incarnation.
Kapila.
And
Yeah.
then Swambhu Manu and then Yamraj. He takes
Yeah.
away. That's
Very nice.
Thank you.
Janaka Maharaja's Ramayana from Ramayana.
Yeah, she already mentioned that.
Yeah. I think I missed it.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, welcome back. I mean, Rakesh Prabhu is there. So I thought he put a question last time on the Shraddha to Prema. So, one second, let me share. Prabhu, can you share your screen? Sorry, I have some issues here.
Okay, Prabhu, share.
No, go to the doc, question and answers.
Yeah.
I've added the question and answer session. Yeah,
Yeah.
the last one.
Yes.
Shraddha to Prema. Where do I
Okay.
stand? So we have the Shraddha to Prema, right? So his question is, I tried to paraphrase this. He said, we know that 9 stages of Shraddha to Prema. Go top, Prabhu. Yes, wait. When I tell you to scroll, please scroll. Yeah. So how does a devotee know where does he stand? Is it a good idea to ask someone to rate me on this scale? Should one be really bothered about this or just keep doing best in the journey of devotional service?
Keep doing.
Keep doing. Yeah, that's the simple answer. But one thing is, yeah, it should not be meant for self-grading. A report. It's not a report card as said, the Shraddha to Prema. It's a stages in which the bhakti grows. So you have to take it more like a map, which is guiding you in which direction you're going, rather than taking it as as a mirror, no, reflection. It's not reflection, but we should have an introspection on our spiritual progress. That should always be there. Introspect. That will be there. So there is another way of doing it. One is, I don't know how many of you have heard about it. There is something called a sadhana card. Anyone heard about sadhana cards?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so this is sadhana in a sense. What we are doing is our chanting is a sadhana. Attending this clash, Krishna Kada is a sadhana. I mean, these are all devotional services. So we are doing this sadhana. This is actually what you say is it's not coming spontaneously. For us. No, that is why these stages. Once you come to the stage of ruchi or asakti, then things comes very spontaneously, getting attached to that. Right. So there are sadhana cards where it depends on person to person. Like a neophyte, someone who's new, we can have how many rounds we are chanting, then how many lectures we are hearing, and how many classes we are attending, how many times we go to the temple. So these are some of the things you can think of, on a weekly basis. So if anyone interested, let me know. I can give accordingly a sadhana, Excel sheet. You can put yourself and see how you are progressing in Krishna consciousness. That's one way of doing it. but not in the Shraddha to Prema level. So if you see Shraddha to Prema, so what happens is, if you're really keen, no, you can tick the mark. Like if you can, if how much your kirtan or how much you are connected to devotees, how much you are interested to listen to Krishna Kada. So that way we go on bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti. Most of us, I would say, are in the range of bhajana kriya to nishta. You know, most of us would be in the range. There would be, anartha nivritti. It's a very big range. Most of an anartha has to go there. So anarthas are till in the bhava stage. Anarthas will continue. So mostly will be cleared. Mostly in the prema stage. Most of the anarthas, but majority of them get cleared in this anartha nivritti stage. And once in your nishta, you get strong contact with that. Can you just scroll down, Prabhu? So these are some of the points you can go through this document. Go down, still down. So you should ask someone to rate you on your scale? No. So you should not, in fact, comparison. Each one are individual. So sometimes, if you feel, you are okay, you yourself feel, okay, I've come to this stage, I've come to Baba stage, and then so the pride and ego starts kicking in. So we should be very humble there. As you go in Krishna consciousness, one becomes more humble. Yeah, can you pull down to me? Yeah. So at the end, no. So what should a devotee be doing? Keep practicing sincerely. Just scroll through. Yeah. So then, so you should notice yourself how the change is happening within you without labeling them. Just see what change is happening within you once you're practicing these sadhanas. Then whenever you need, you should seek guidance. So that's very important. Not the rating. You should seek guidance how you are doing. And then Krishna will reveal. It's all the mercy of the Krishna that will reveal within you how you are progressing. And focus is on service, not in the status of where we are. Just go on top. Yeah. So a simple ground reality is the moment you worry about what stage you are not in that stage. The moment you forget the stage and simply serve with love, then you keep moving forward. So close reflection on that. If you want water a plant every day, you cannot go and don't pull, okay, whether there is a leaf coming every day there, is it growing, is the flower coming, you don't see like that. So you don't check like that. So you trust the process, you keep watering the process. So the more the watering and removing all the weeds, all anarthas are the weeds. Remove those weeds, water the plant, and then one fine morning you find your creeper of love for Krishna has gone up to the Goloka, touching the feet of Krishna. All right, Prabhu, is that okay?
Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhu, all clear. Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna. All right, let me go to today's topic. I found one material. I'm going to run the class based on that. I would like to thank one Amritananda Das Prabhu. He has put a lot of material. Prabhu, you can unshare. I will share my screen. Okay. I'm just lost in that. Unfortunately, my computer got crashed. So I'm using someone borrowed computer. All right. Anyone remembers what we did last time? So from which verse we are doing today?
Text 29.
Yeah, 28, 29. So we'll go to 30 today. All right. So this is the last section. This is related to the question number 4 of the adventurous pastime of the Lord. So we are going to talk about Purushavadars. So from 30 to 33 is these answers. The 3 kind of Purushavadars are talked here. And even in the next chapter, 3rd chapter, the first 5 verses also is continued. More details are there. All right. Anyone wants to read this verse? Can you see all my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Ankit Prabhu, you want to read? We can't hear you. No, we can't hear you, Prabhu. Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah, now it came.
Hello.
Yeah, you can hear now. Yeah. Please go
Yeah.
ahead.
Bha- Bhagavan Atma Maya Sad Asad Rupaya Cha Sha Guna Maya Guno Vibhu. In the beginning of this material creation, that absolute personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, in his transcendental position, created the energies of cause and by his own internal energy. The position of the Lord is always transcendental because the causal and effectual energies required for the creation of the material world were also created by him. He is unaffected, therefore, by the qualities of the material modes. His existence, form, activities, and paraphernalia all existed before the material creation. He is all spiritual, has nothing to do with the qualities of the material world, which are qualitatively distinct from the spiritual qualities of the Lord.
Thank you. So here, couple of terms here. It talks about Bhagavan Atma Maya. So it said he is the creator of all those, who we recommend to be worshipped. Many people worship Pitras. Pitras means ancestors. They worship Shiva, Brahma. But Vasudev, he alone is the creator of all of them. So he is the Bhagavan, Atma Mayena, by his own potency. By his own potency, he is creating. He is not taking any assistance of anyone. But he uses, this matter of gunas, but which is meant for the cause and effect of creation. There is a cause and effect for creation, but he uses the matter, gunamaya, but he is beyond the mode, aguna. He is transcendental to those. That's what is mentioned here. So this is representing the Karanoy Dakshaya Vishnu. So we should understand the Purushavadas. There are 3 levels. One is Karanoy Dakshaya Vishnu, another is Garboy Dakshaya Vishnu, and Shiroy Dakshaya Vishnu. We'll see into those details. So Karanoy Daksha Vishnu, the other name for him is commonly known as Mahavishnu. So he lies down in the transcendental ocean, and from the pores, our skin has a pores, right? Our skin also breathes. Are you all aware of that? So we are not breathing just by our nose, by our pores also we breathe. Our skin, there are holes there, that those pores also we breathe. So when he breathes out, so many universes comes out from his pores. So you can see this, these are all universes coming out of Karuna Daksha Vishnu. So he is lying in this Kashal ocean or the Karana ocean. And that's why he is called as Karana Daksha Vishnu. So in the beginning of material creation, the universe comes out of it. And he creates all the material universe. Actually, his glance creates the material world. Okay, let me share another slide. Okay, this one may do much better. Okay, last time someone was asking who's the Shambhu, right? I think Vinay Prabhu was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the Mahavishnu or Karuna Daksha Vishnu. He is being served by Rama Devi, who is his consort. So he is lying in the Karuna ocean or the Vraja river. This is said to be the border of the material world and the spiritual world. So you can see Sadashiv Loka. So that part of it is the tip of the spiritual world. At the bottom is the material world. So this is the material sky. There's a clouds, you can think of some material sky. So that is called Mahat Tattva. We'll come into the details of what is Mahat Tattva. These are the elements. It is said, there are 24 elements in which the material world is created. And there are 16 of them are very principal element. So these are always in dormant stage. Before the material world is created, this material sky is in a very dormant state. It's not active. The glance of Mahavishnu agitates it. It's being agitated. Then it becomes active. So what happened? The glance, you can see the glance here. So the glance is going to the material sky. So the glance of Mahavishnu is nothing but Shambhu. So he is the one who has connection with the material world. Vishnu or Krishna doesn't have direct connection with the material world. Only his glance. He lies in the, probably in the spiritual sky, in between the spiritual world and the material world, and then glances at the material sky, which is said to be inactive, dormant state. So the glance of him which comes is said to be Shambhu. Shambhu is the form of Lord Shiva. So we said it's nothing but if Vishnu is the milk, Shambhu or Shiva is the yogurt. That's what we say. And this Rama Devi's counterpart is the Maya Devi, Durga Devi, which is there in the material world. So this is material world is said to be the Shakti Dham. Okay, this is how. So this understanding you have, more details are coming up in the third canto and fifth canto. So these are the basic things I will try to tell you now. All right. Now we go back to our.
So that means, Prabhu, Shambhu is a internal potency, right? Internal potency of with his glance, right? That energy has been passed to Mahatattva, right? So that means Shambhu is also part of Vishnu Prabhu.
Yeah, no, but we cannot say is a Vishnu Tattva, Shiva Tattva.
Shiva Tattva.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And earlier we have learned that in 12 Mahajans that Shiva is the son of Brahma, right? Like when you were giving that
Yeah.
remember?
So Shiva, you can say there are different levels in which there. Actually, the Sadashiva, which I told you, actually he is actually coming from Shankarshana. Like how
Right.
Mahavishnu comes from Shankarshana also Sadashiva is coming. So that is from Sadashiva is said to be all Shiva Tattva. So they are not Vishnu Tattva, they are little different. They are between Vishnu Tattva and Jiva.
Right.
So it's a separate position. And your question of from Brahma, Shiva comes, right? These are said to be Rudras.
So that's the Rudras, right?
There
Not
are,
Shiva.
yeah, they are, no, the Rudra also, there is out of the 11 Rudra, one is Shiva.
Okay.
So these Rudras, Vasus, you have heard of Rudra, Vasus, Adityas, Ashwini Kumaras. If you count, they all be 33 in numbers. And each one of them have 1 crore people under them. That's why they say 33 crores of Devatas are there. They are the administrators of this material world.
Right. But here
Alright?
also we are saying Shiva is coming, right, from
From
Vishnu.
Mahavishnu, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm saying, it's not an expansion of Krishna. Like you have an expansion, no? From Krishna, Balaram comes. From Balaram, the quadruple expansion.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but there is a purpose for Lord Shiva because he is at the level of Guna Tattva, where he is the destroyer. We have 3 levels. We have seen the Guna
Yeah.
avatars, right? Brahma,
Yeah.
Vishnu, and Shiva.
Shiva, yes.
So that level. So
Mm.
Shambhu has that level of the Shiva who is
The
taking care
destroyer.
of, yeah,
Yeah.
of destroying, taking control of the material world.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then this Prabhu has talked about the 4 causes in which we do, because we talked about the cause and effect here, of creation of the material world. So one is the matter, when we are talking about the cause and effect of creating the material world, we need to have matter, right? So yeah, before that I will have to tell you about this. What is this matter, Mahat Tattva we are talking? So these are said to be the 24 elements. Basically, the material world is created based on these 24 elements. So one is the Pradhana. Pradhana is said to be the unmanifested form of the 3 modes of material nature. And then these are subtle. This false ego, intelligence, and mind. These are the subtle elements. And the gross elements are Panchabhutas, the 10 Indriyas, the 10 senses. That is 5 working sense and 5 knowledge acquiring senses. And the 5 Tanmatras. Okay, these are the 24 elements. And there are 16 principal elements. If you see in some of the purport, probably you will come to see in the purport of the 3rd chapter, Prabhupada writes that about the Mahatattva. 3rd chapter, first verse, purport, Prabhupada gives this, we cover here only. So the one which is all the red, these are said to be the 16 elements of that. So this material world is just made of these 24 elements. Apart from that, we can talk about the soul and super soul, 26. So those 2 are not spiritual in nature. These 24 are material in nature. That's it. All right. So then the cause and effect. Let's go back there. Is it very confusing? Anyone not clear? I can repeat it. Are we clear? All clear? Yes, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. But don't go into the details of the Vedic cosmology at this stage. So just basic understanding is good enough at this level, because even Sutta Goswami talks only about 3 levels of Purushavadas. And in 3rd canto, in fact, in the 5th canto, the more detailed Vedic cosmology is mentioned. So when we come there, we will discuss that. All right. So matter, so material cost. Example, for instance, you're going to take a table. So we need something, matter for that, the wood, right? So here in creation of the material world, what is the Panchabhutas, water, air, earth, ether. So these are the basic material required for creating. Again, they are coming from Krishna only. Then the agent. So there will be someone who has to create it, right? So the secondary creator, the initial creator is from Vishnu, Mahavishnu, everything comes. The secondary creator is Brahma, right? And then the form, how it should be. So there are so many species, there are 8.4 million species. So that forms, again, the secondary creator creates it, but through the knowledge given by Krishna or Vishnu. And then what is the purpose of creating a table? So this is the cause and effect. All right. So let's go to the next verse. Are we clear in that? It's just a basic understanding of the cause and effect in which we are creating. So we need to have a matter out of which something has to be made, but someone has to make that, and what form it has to be made, and what is the purpose of that, right? So what is the purpose for a human creation?
So serve Krishna.
Exactly. Then
Eternal.
go back to the eternal world. Yeah. But devotees are happy to serve anywhere,
Anyway.
either in the spiritual world or in material world. All right. Can someone read the next verse? So this verse is going to talk about Garbha Daksha Vishnu. Next verse is Shiro Daksha Vishnu. Yeah.
I can read from.
Yes, Prabhu. Next verse you can read. Yeah, please.
Can I go?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Taya vilasite swa eshu guneshu gunavan eva anta pravishta abhati vijnana nena vijrambhita. After creating the material substance, the Lord Vasudev expands himself and enters into it. And although he is within the material modes of nature and appears to be one of the created beings, he is always fully enlightened in his transcendental position.
Okay, thank you. So here you see this picture where Karana Daksha Vishnu, so many universes are coming out from his pores, and this is an expansion of one of the universe. So in one of the universe, the same Karna Daksha Vishnu enters into the universe. So he takes another form and enters into the universe as Garbho Daksha Vishnu. And from his navel comes a lotus stem, and top of the lotus is Brahma. The 14 planetary systems are there. I'm just trying to increase the size. Let me see how can I increase this. Is it better now? Not increasing.
I think you might want to do Control plus. Might increase this, please. Zoom it out.
Probably I think I have to go to the source. Looks better now. So I have one more slide which gives more details about these 14 planetary systems. So are we clear? So from Garbha Daksha Vishnu, from Karana Daksha Vishnu, Garbha Daksha Vishnu enters into each universe. Yeah, please continue with it. You want to continue?
Oh, yeah. Paramatma accompanies the living entities. The living entities are separated parts and parcels of the Lord, and the conditioned living entities, who are unfit for the spiritual kingdom, are strewn within the material world to enjoy matter to the fullest extent. As Paramatma, an eternal friend of the living entities, the Lord, by one of his plenary portions, accompanies the living entities to guide them in their material enjoyment and to become witness to all activities. While the living entities enjoy the material creation conditions, the Lord maintains his transcendental position without being affected by the material atmosphere.
Okay. So he's talking about the Paramatma there. So if you see, okay, I didn't mention about the Shiroya Dakshaya Vishnu, I'll also mention so that we'll have a full understanding. From Karana Dakshaya Vishnu, he expands and he enters into the universe which is coming out of his body as Garbhoya Dakshaya Vishnu, and from his navel comes the 14 planetary system. Here, Garbhoya Dakshaya Vishnu is lying on Ananta Sesh. So this ocean is called Garbhodak Ocean, under the Garbhodak Ocean, whereas Mahavishnu is lying in the Karanoi Ocean, Karana, casual ocean it's called, causal ocean, Karana Ocean, and here Garbho Ocean, he's lying down. And from here, we have so many other living entities coming, Brahma, and he starts creating, so many living entities. And the Shiroya Dakshaya Vishnu enters, he is coming from Garbhoya Dakshaya Vishnu, and he enters into each of these living entities. Are we clear? So this Shiroya Dakshaya Vishnu is the Paramatma in each one of us. When I said Paramatma we talk about, right? He is the Paramatma living into each one of the living entity, whether it's a human, it's a fish, worm, and anything. He is there. Not only in this, he is also entering into each atom and material within this universe. Shiroya Dakshaya Vishnu. So he is said to be a Paramatma among all the living entity, right? And Garbhoya Dakshaya Vishnu is said to be the Paramatma of this universe. And Karana Dakshaya Vishnu is said to be Paramatma of the entire cosmic creation. So there are three levels of Paramatma here. Are you all with me? So Karana Dakshaya Vishnu, he is the one beginning creation. So he is the Paramatma of all the entire cosmic creation. Garbhoya Dakshaya Vishnu is for this particular universe. So like that, he enters into each one of the universes which is coming from him. Right? And then he is Paramatma for that universe. And from him comes Shiroya Dakshaya Vishnu. He enters into each living entity and atom. So he is the Paramatma of living entity. All right, what is the purpose of Paramatma? So that's what here is mentioned. Paramatma accompanies each living entity. Paramatma is the Shiroya Dakshaya Vishnu. And not only that, he is actually said to be, the Archaka Vigraha and all the temples, the Archaka Vigraha. So is nothing but Shiroya Dakshaya Vishnu, which is coming from Garbhoya Dakshaya Vishnu. But then what is the purpose of Paramatma? Anyone? Prashant. Prashant Prabhu. You are very quiet today.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Paramatma is the guiding principle of the soul.
Yeah. When you turn to him, he is the guiding principle. But when you are not turning to him.
So he just monitors us, he witness,
Correct.
yeah, and he records everything.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Bhakti Shastri students, anyone can tell? Which verse in Bhagavad Gita talks about that? He is the Upadrishta. He is the overseer or witness, like Vinay Prabhu mentioned. He is the one witness. Paramatma is witnessing each one of us, each activity.
Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto.
Yeah, that is there. That is for Smriti Jnanam and Apoham. That is 15:15 you are talking. So I will come to that next, but we are talking about Upadrishta. This is 13:23. So in Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, 23rd verse talks about this Paramatma's role. He is a Upadrishta Anumanta. Anumanta means he is the one who sanctions. He is the one who permits for anything, good or bad. If you desire to do something, it requires the sanction of the Lord. So Paramatma is there. He is the Bharta. He is the master, right? And he is the Bhokta also. Not just the master, he is the enjoyer, supreme enjoyer. And he is said to be the Maheshwara. Maheshwara means he is the supreme controller. This is the supreme lord. So that is 1323. You can note down, maybe when you have time, go through that. If you want to know who is Paramatma, these two verses talks about that. 1323 in Bhagavad Gita and 1515. 1515 which Prashant Prabhu quoted. So that talks about Smriti Jnanam Apoha. Smriti means remembrance. So Paramatma is the one who is giving the remembrance, who's sitting within the heart of everyone. So the Veda starts with Vedeshu Sarveshu. So that Smriti is, he is the one who gives remembrance. And then Jnanam, he is the one who gives knowledge. And Apohanam, he is the one who gives forgetfulness. Right? And there is also another verse which also talks about his superiority, like he is the Bhoktaram. Bhoktaram for all the Yajna and Tabasa. That is 529, verse number 529 of Bhagavad Gita. Talks about Bhoktaram Yajna Tabasa Sarvaloka Mageshwaram. Sukradam. So there it talks about Bhoktara means enjoyer. So he is the enjoyer. Whatever Yajna, Tabas, anything everyone doing, he is offered to him. He is the enjoyer of that. He is the Sarvaloka Mageshwaram. Mageshwara, he is the supreme controller of all the planets and even the demigods. And he is Sukridam. He is the benefactor or the well-wisher for all living entity. All right. So knowing this, one will get peace and free from all the miseries. Right. This is what Bhagavad Gita talks about Paramatma and the Supreme Lord in simple terms. All right. Let's go to the next section. Next one, analogy. Mataji, you continue. Next verse, I'll go to Yashlo. Yeah.
In the Vedic literatures, it is said that there are two birds in one tree. One of them is eating the fruit of the tree, while the other is witnessing the actions. The witness is the Lord, and the fruit eater is the living entity. The fruit eater, living entity, has forgotten his real identity and is overwhelmed in the fruit of activities of the material conditions. But the Lord, Paramatma, is always full in transcendental knowledge. That is the difference between the supersoul and the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul, the living entity, is controlled by the laws of the nature, while the Paramatma or the supersoul is the controller of the material energy.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is from the Vedic literatures, various Puranas. This is mentioned. Upanishad. So maybe I put some pictures here. If you see, there are two birds, so they're sitting on a tree, right? So here the tree, the analogy is the tree is nothing but this body. So there are two spiritual elements within our body. One is the soul, another is the super soul. So what does the soul does? He is like a fruit eater. He is trying to enjoy. So he is sitting, he is moving from one branch to another, like taking many bodies, many desires we have. So all our desires getting satisfied. If not in this body, we try to get another body and try to get satisfied with the desire. So like that, we keep on going. So there's another bird which is all the time monitoring you, right? That is nothing but the Lord Paramatma within each one of us, right? The tree is considered to be the body. So because we are conditioned, we are after so many kinds of desires, going to enjoy that, thinking we are the enjoyer. But at one point of time, we turn toward the super soul. Then, as Prashant Prabhu said, he is the guiding factor. From then on, once you start turning towards the Paramatma, he is the one who is going to guide you. That's where we understand that. So that's what he's saying. So long you are going from one tree to another, then once you start looking at the Paramatma, then you don't need any tree. You go back to Godhead. because he guides you.
Prabhu, I have one question there.
Yeah.
So, when you say that we turn to the guiding light or we turn to the Paramatma, how do we know that it's him which is guiding us and not the not our materially conditioned thinking which is actually telling us something? Because something might be like many times I think that something can be right from like my perspective, but then it can be wrong from the other person's perspective. So, like, how do we know that it's the super soul that is guiding us?
Good question. Yes, anyone wants to try?
I can try, Prabhu.
Yes, Guru.
So once you see towards Paramatma, right, by then you start reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and associate with the devotees, right? So you always think about God, right? And automatically, then what you do is whatever you do, you always think whether this is right or wrong. Okay, according to this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, this is right, this is how we need to go, right? So we get that unknowingly, we get that guidance, right? That's what I personally experienced.
Okay, good one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. But what if someone is not reading Bhagavad Gita? Paramatma is still there.
But how will how will you know, right? Because pastimes, all those, right? So you need to give that soul, right? The
Paramatma is
pleasure.
all the time trying to
Yeah.
guide you, Prabhu, irrespective whether you are a person reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, you may be a Christian, you may be a Muslim. Paramatma is there in each one of us, right? Yeah, what you said is correct. I agree
Yeah.
to you, but I'm just
Yeah.
trying to, what to say, that for
That is how
argument's sake, I'm
knowledge,
saying.
right? Absolute truth. How you're going to get that knowledge. Once you get attracted to that, that is how. And if you're attracted means you have turned towards Paramatma.
Yeah,
And there's also
that's what I'm saying. We are
another
not turning towards Paramatma. Paramatma is always guiding us, but we are not turning to him.
Yeah.
So the point is, what you said is perfectly correct, but Mataji, you got it. But I want to add something here.
Mm.
As I said, Paramatma is there to everyone. He's not looking into, you're a Hindu, I am with you. Because you're reading Bhagavad Gita, I am with you. No. He's there
Mm.
for all of us. Only
Mm.
thing is, we are not submissive.
Mm.
Because we are having our free will, our ego is hitting. Okay, I will do, I will get it, I will done. Who is there to ask me?
Mm.
So you are becoming the guiding factor rather than principal guiding factor of Paramatma. So many times you would have seen earlier also, before coming into Krishna conscious also, something would have been guiding. Many people say, oh, this has guided me to come where. So, but
Mm.
you take another path instead of taking the guided, what is being guided, you are not towards that, you go into some other direction. But as you rightly said, when we come to the scriptures, knowledge we start getting, then
Mm.
we become more submissive, we become more humble and trying to follow the path. Right? Then sometimes it happens, even after coming, people fall down, right? Even after coming or something, people will try to go away from the path. Right? So that's what we have seen, the Shraddha to Prema stage, the anarthas, the purity, the more the purity we become more nishtha in that path. Paramatma is all the time guiding us, but it is only our own decision. We are taking a decision not to go there. We are misusing our free will, that's all. We have been given a free will to go. And God is not forcing us to do things. Right?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Is it answered, Mataji?
Yes. Also, like I sometimes also feel like if two people are reading the same same script or like same portion of the Gita or Bhagavatam, they might perceive it differently.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, like, how
Interpretation would be different.
interpretation is different. So, how do we know that which interpretation is correct, or like that can also become an argument, or not an argument, but like a conflicting
Good
discussion?
question. Yeah. Anyone wants to try again?
I can try, Prabhu.
We'll give a chance to someone else. If Sadhana
Right.
Mataji, you want to try?
Coming to the previous question as well, right? I just wanted to add earlier, as you were asking Mataji earlier, how do we know, like, what's right for us may be wrong for someone else, and what's right for others may be right for us. I mean, wrong for us, right? As Prabhuji mentioned earlier, there is guiding factors all the time. There is good and bad. And if we put Krishna in the center, and if we see it that way, then we'll get our answer. That's what I believe in. That's yeah. And I believe, like, with this question as well, if we put Krishna in the center, we get our answers all the time. Yes, I do have your perception as well that, see, when I read Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, any scripture, or even a normal book in general to begin with, right? I may understand it differently based on how I may see it, and you may understand it differently. But at the end of the day, if we like, being in spiritual world now, I mean, being on the spiritual side, if we put Krishna in the center, I think we eventually, as we practice, we get
Yeah,
to.
you're okay, Mataji. I'll stop here. Yeah. This is good attempt if you put Krishna in center. But
Yeah.
the more apt would be we have to go through a bona fide spiritual master and
Spiritual
try to
master,
understand.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if we are trying to go directly to Krishna and try to understand, it is only we shows a neophyte. We are in still in neophyte state. We need to get a devotee association and try to do. That's why sadhu sangha is so important. We have to get knowledge. Like there are so many Bhagavad Gitas, right? So why is Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita? Prabhupada calls it as Bhagavad Gita as it is. So he says the message what Krishna wants to say is trying to give. So the best way to know which is the best one to go through is if you're going through Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam and going through a proper study, and if there is a transformation happening in you, that means you are on the right path. If there is no transformation, there are so many Gitas, Bhagavad Gitas available. People read it like a storybook and nothing happens in their life. So that's also Krishna's words only, right? So the commentary is given on that someone has given commentary. Like Dr. Radhakrishnan writes commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada quotes that somewhere. It doesn't transform a person. But so many lives, so many millions of people in ISKCON's life was transferred by Bhagavad Gita as it is, right? So that's the difference. That's the answer. Transformation, two things. One is it has to come through a Guru Paramparic succession.
Mm.
Keeping Krishna center, I agree, but so it's a Guru who shows the Krishna, and the Krishna who's the one shows who could be his Guru. So this is it's a catch-22 kind of a situation, right? So
Yeah.
you go to Krishna and first ask him, Krishna, provide me a proper Guru for me to understand you. Then Krishna
Yes.
provides a Guru. Then you understand, then you transform. If you transform, then it shows, whatever interpretation is giving there, that's what is happening. That's a perfect way.
Just like how we want a guru, I heard that gurus as well desire to have and look for good devotees. I mean, sishyas. Is that true, Prabhuji?
No, I don't think any guru wants to serve all the devotees.
And
He
like
doesn't
not
look for good devotees or bad devotees.
not good
Devotees, yeah.
but a sishya, like the who actually is a disciple, like they look for the sishyas as well. That's what I heard somewhere.
I cannot comment on that matter.
Right. Yeah. Thanks, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
And also we should have blessings of Radha Rani as well. Guru and Radharani, then we can reach to Krishna.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. Super soul. We just covered 2 verses now. Already our super soul. The Lord as super soul pervades all things and thus appears to be many, though he is the one without second. Okay, so this verse talks about how is that? Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Vinesh.
Yes, Prabhu. Can you read the scene, screen the scene?
Yeah, I'll read the sloka. Yata hi avahito vahanir durho swa ekasva yonishu nan eva bhati vishva atma bhuteshu cha tatha puman.
Mhm.
The Lord, as Super Soul, pervades all things, just as fire permeates wood, and so he appears to be many varieties, though he is the absolute one without a second. Paramatma, Super Soul, pervades all things. Lord Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by one of his plenary parts, expands himself all over the material world, and his existence can be perceived even within the atomic energy. Matter, antimatter, proton, neutron, etc. are all different effects of Paramatma, features of the Lord.
Okay, yeah, we'll come to the next paragraph. So basically, he's talking about he's all pervading. He's pervading. Actually, Vishnu means he's all pervading. He is there everywhere. So, and then the analogy is given here is just like how a fire permeates the wood, and so he appears in so many varieties. So he is absolute one without second. So he exists in everywhere, matter, antimatter, proton, neutron, etc. This is nothing but a summary of the purport. So this Prabhu has made it very simple for me to use it here. Yeah, continue.
How his presence can be felt. As from wood, fire can be manifested, or as butter can be churned out of milk, so also the presence of Lord as Paramatma can be felt by the process of legitimate hearing and chanting of the transcendental subjects, which are essential, especially treated in the Vedic literature, like the Upanishads and the Vedanta. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the bon, bona fide bona fide explanation of these Vedic literatures. The Lord can be realized through the oral reception of the transcendental message, and that is the only way to experience the transcendental subject.
Okay, thank you. So how his presence can be felt? So he said, for instance, if you see a wood, actually the fire is there within the wood. We cannot normally see it unless you light that wood. Then the fire we can see. Similarly, in the milk also there's a butter. Generally, you don't see a butter, right? Unless you churn it, right? So that's how the Lord's presence of Paramatma will be there, felt in the process. So what is the process of our churning? What is the process of our churning here?
Chanting.
Hmm?
Chanting.
Going back to Godhead.
Yeah, it's mentioned legitimate hearing and chanting of transcendental subject matter. This is going to churn you. The regularly hearing, that's what we are talking about the sadhana system, right? So how much in a week, how many hours I'm spending on hearing, how many hours I'm spending on chanting, how many hours I'm spending on association of devotees, how many hours I'm spending to go to the temple and do some service. Now, these are some of the things which you do is the churning process of our devotion, churning process within us. Then we get more closer to Paramatma within us. So especially what kind of hearing and chanting we should know is talking about Vedic literatures from Upanishads, Vedantas, and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This is again a bona fide explanation of Vedic literature. Then we can realize the Lord through oral reception. Yeah, please continue. Please.
Spiritual master can kindle this spiritual fire. As fire is kindled from wood by another fire, the divine consciousness of man can similarly be kindled by another divine grace. His divine grace, the spiritual master, can kindle the spiritual fire from the wood-like living entity by imparting proper spiritual messages injected through the receptive ear. Therefore, one is required to approach the proper spiritual master with receptive ears only, and thus divine existence is gradually realized. The difference between animality and humanity lies in this process only. A human being can hear properly, whereas an animal cannot.
Thank you, Prabhu. Actually, these three passages really answered Gaurangi Mataji's question, right? So, yeah, so if someone wants to get knowledge about Paramatma and other things, first you should hear them through Vedanta, Vedic studies. That Vedic studies through proper spiritual master. That's what it's saying. So proper hearing through a proper source.
So Prabhu, in this shloka, super soul is referring to the Shirodakshai Vishnu, right?
Yeah, which is permeating everywhere. Yes.
Yes.
But super soul, Paramatma are at 3 levels, I told you.
Yeah.
But this is referring to the living entities.
Yes. So in the 30th slok, it was referring to the first level, and in 31st, it was referring to the second level. Sorry.
Level. Yeah.
Yes.
No, 32nd was both second and third level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And more details here in 33 verse. Yeah. Go on, there is Vinay Prabhu. You want to read this verse?
Yeah. असौ गुणा सूक्ष्मेन्द्रिया आत्मभिः स्वनिर्मितेषु निर्विष्टो भुङ्खे भूतेषु तद्गुणन्. The supersoul enters into the bodies of the created beings who are influenced by the mode of material nature and causes them to enjoy the effect of these modes by the subtle mind. Paramatma facilitates every living entity's enjoyment. There are 8.4 million species of living beings, beginning from the highest intellectual being, Brahma, down to insignificant ant, and all of them are enjoying the material world according to the desires of the subtle mind and gross material body. The gross material body is based on the condition of the subtle mind, and the senses are created according to the desires of the living beings. The Lord as Paramatma help the living being to get material happiness because the living being is helpless in all respects of obtaining what he desires. He proposes and the Lord disposes. In other sense, the living beings are part and parcel of the God. They are therefore one with the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, the living beings in all varieties of bodies have been claimed by the Lord as his sons. The suffering and enjoyment of the sons are indirectly the sufferings and enjoyments of the father. Still, the father is not in any way affected directly by the suffering and enjoyments of the son. He is so kind that he constantly remains with the living being as Paramatma and always try to convert the living being towards the real happiness.
Can you summarize maybe what we read this part?
Yes. So, yeah, super soul enter it always enters into the body, but depending upon the desire, right, the subtle mind desire, he get that particular body, and he gives that free will, um, to whatever he desires, he gives, and because of that, he suffers, and he also have happiness in the material world.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, he was trying to tell the Paramatma, like this conditioned body. So we are all influenced by the modes of material nature. So whoever is taking birth in this material world, we are influenced by these 3 modes of material nature. So 2 things you should know from this. One is this modes of material nature doesn't exist in the spiritual world. And The Paramatma also doesn't exist in the spiritual world. Why is Paramatma not there in the spiritual world? Anyone can think of?
Because he is a tattva there. I mean, he's a Mahatattva there.
He is in the material world monitoring us, right? Sitting in everyone's heart.
Yeah,
Each
that's
one
what
of
he is there.
Yeah.
My question is, why there is no Paramatma in the spiritual world? I told that statement, right? There is no Paramatma in spiritual world. Paramatma is only there in this material world.
Because it is created by Mahavishnu, right? As a Garbhodak Sai Vishnu and Sirodak Sai Vishnu.
Yeah, the three levels of Paramatma.
Yeah.
So why is there in the material world the three levels of Paramatma? And it's not there in the spiritual world.
Prabhuji, in a spiritual world, we might get a different type of body.
Okay.
I think in
So there you don't
spiritual
need.
world, you can see Paramatma, not inside you, outside. He'll be among you there.
The answer is very simple. In spiritual world, Lord itself is there. Then why do you need Paramatma?
He's designed for the material world, right? Super soul.
Exactly. But in material world also he is there. In his holy name, he is still there. But there we have, but unfortunately, we are coming from the spiritual world. We left him here, but Krishna doesn't want to leave us, also here. So he's coming here and supporting here. So this is what this verse is talking about. So he enters into each one of us. You left me and came from the spiritual world, but I am not going to leave you. I will be with you. But you are influenced by these modes and you want to enjoy all these things. I will still be there. So whatever you want to enjoy, I will provide you those facilities. He is providing us all those facilities. You want to enjoy. So someone wants to, eat a lot of flesh all the time. Okay, I will provide you to help you. So what is the best thing you should have? You should have a body of a lion or a tiger, right? So you can enjoy eating all the flesh. If someone want to sleep all the time, what is the best body you can get? You can get a body of a polar bear, right? The Prabhupada puts in Bhagavad Gita, if you see, there are so many pictures there, if you have gone through that, right? If someone wants to be nude, so what is the best thing? You can be like a tree, enjoy the tree, be like a tree, to be nude, right? So all your desires are being satisfied here to 8.4 million species, right? Right from Brahma to Indra Gopa, said to be one of the smallest insignificant ant, is called Indra Gopa. So these are various species there. So Paramatma helps for us to have this material happiness. So that's what highlighted in this verse. Do you know what are the 8.4 species?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
try
like
to show.
human, animals, insects, aqua, birds,
Plants.
plants. Yeah.
So there are 900,000 aquatics, fishes related, 1.5 million insects, reptiles, 2 million kinds of trees, then 3 million animals, and 1 million birds, and 400,000 kind of humans. So if you count all these things, this is broadly the 8.4 million species.
So this is including all 14 planets, Prabhu, when we say this 8.4 million species covered.
That's a good question, but this is related to our Earth planet.
Okay.
So there could be living entities even in the sun, but they cannot be like this kind of a body. You need to have a different body there. There are living entities in the moon. That's a very cooling
Mhm.
planet. So their body could be
Mm.
little different. The
Yeah.
species could be different.
No, this Gandharvas, Kimpurshas, all these, right? So they are also species, right? So they all fall under 400,000 humans.
Yeah, the 400,000 human basically more or less, more on the conscious point of view also, not just the physical form, even in
Mm.
the consciousness. Yeah, Gandharva, all these things. We are talking about from Brahma to on to Indra Gopa. So in this universe, most of the universe similar to Earth, we have similar kind of a thing. But some
Mm.
of the other area like Sun or something, these are some heavenly planets.
Mm.
So there could be little different.
Okay. But all those are created by Brahma only, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But this 8.4 million is for this Brahma and below. So this covers from Brahma on to the lowest end.
Okay. So that covers
Yeah.
all planets then, because
Yeah,
he
it
is the one
covers
who
all
created
planets
all
within the
planets.
universe. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the universe.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So this picture is highlighting, these three modes of material nature, how it's acting on us, how it's influencing us. So this is about question 4. We finished. And last verse, 34, is for the question number 3. So the question in 1.1.12 was, why did Krishna was born in the womb of Mother Devaki? That was the question. So that's the answer here. Who wants to read this verse? Prashant Prabhu, you're muted, I think. You want to read it?
Yes, Prabhuji. Haribol.
No.
30.33, right?
34.
34.
This is text 34.
Okay.
The last verse in this chapter. At last we finished in this chapter now.
भावयत्यय एष सत्त्वेन लोकान् वै लोकभाववना लीला अवतारा अनुरतो देवत्रियान् नरादिषु. Thus, the Lord of the universe maintains all planets inhabited by demigods, men, and lower animals. Assuming the roles of incarnations, he performs pastimes to reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness.
Yeah. So that is showing what is the purpose on which Lord comes here. So for what purpose did Lord Krishna appear? That was the question by the sages, the third question. So a simple answer is to reclaim all those who are in mode of pure goodness. That is Shuddha Sattva. So we know the three levels, Sattvas, Rajas, and Tamas. This is pure goodness. One who comes it, he reclaims, he takes you back to the spiritual world.
Lord incarnates in each and every universes. There are innumerable material universes, and in each and every universe, there are innumerable planets inhabited by different grades of living entities in different modes of nature. Lord Vishnu incarnates himself in each and every one of them and in each and every type of living society. He manifests his transcendental pastimes amongst them just to create the desire to go back to Godhead. The Lord does not change his original transcendental position, but he appears to be differently manifested according to the particular time, circumstances, and society.
Yeah, thank you, brother. We'll come back to the next paragraph. Okay, so the purpose of Lord incarnation or purpose of Lord appearing in this material world is to attract the people here through his Krishna Kada, through his transcendental pastime, and create a desire for us to go back to Godhead. In fact, I don't know how many of you, you know that we can go back to the spiritual world. In fact, after I came into Krishna consciousness, only I was aware, right? So generally we think, what is life? We are seeing how our parents are living, how our grandparents are living, okay? So they go work for something, they build a house, do something activity, they get their children get married, and get the grandchildren, and then they die. Right? That's what is the understanding. No, I had no understanding that we have to go back to Godhead. There is an option for us available. So unless I came into Krishna consciousness, unless I met some devotee, I think most of you would be in the same category. Unless someone from born devotee, okay, they are a different person, right? So your Lord creates us the desire for him to go back from this mysterious material world. All right, continue, bro.
Purpose of incarnations. Sometimes he incarnates himself or empowers a suitable living being to act for him. But in either case, the purpose is same. The Lord wants the suffering living being to go back to Godhead, to go back home, back to Godhead. The happiness which the living beings are hankering for is not to be found within any corner of innumerable universes and material planets. The eternal happiness which the living being wants is obtainable in the kingdom of God. But the forgetful living being, under the influence of material modes, have no information of the kingdom of God. The Lord, therefore, comes to propagate the message of kingdom of God, either personally as an incarnation or through his bona fide representative as the God's Son of God. Such incarnations or Son of God are not making propaganda for going back to Godhead only within the human society. Their work is also going on in all types of societies amongst demigods and those other than human beings.
Okay. So Prabhupada is trying to say what is the purpose of incarnation of God himself or his representatives, like Srila Prabhupada himself, right? So to get us all back to the spiritual world. And there is some other points are also mentioned. Kunti Maharani in her prayers in 1.8.35, she also talks about why Lord appears. So some of the answers apart from there is mentioned here. Prabhupada mentions in the purport also. He talks about why Krishna appears. Kunti Maharani says to regenerate the process of hearing, remembering, and worshipping the Lord, so that the conditioned soul will be freed from this material world and go back. So when the presence of the Lord, you remember about his pastimes, you hear about his Krishna Kada, and you worship all these things, make us, to get rid of all our karmas, our misery, or to get rid of all our miseries, we have to first stop our all bad karmas, right? Our action should be such a way our bad karmas are stopped. How that can happen? Because first we have to stop to our, greedy material desires. And why that desires are coming? That is because of avidya or ignorance. So that's the cause. If you look at the backward side, because of ignorance, we do activities because of our greedy in nature. So because of ignorance, we try to do all such activities and we build up our bad karmas. So what happens in a bad karma is that we have to suffer for that. So that's the suffering. because of those suffering and bad karmas, you will be in the cycle of birth and death. So you are in the same cycle. Keep on the samsara, it is called birth and death. You will be circling within that. But then, if you start hearing Krishna Kada, you start remembering Krishna, you start doing services for the Lord, all these things process what happens. These are all the karmas, all the devotional practice, which get rid of all the karmas. And, the process will help us not to perform any further karmas, bad karmas in a sense. So when we are doing akarmas and stopping all the bad karmas, ultimately, where do you reach? You reach to the spiritual world. Hare Krishna. With this, we finish this chapter. Let's go to the next chapter. The next chapter is titled Krishna is the source of all incarnation. So this is from a book called Subodhini. Gauranga Darshan Prabhu has written. I have this book, so if you're interested, you can get this book. It talks about the Bhagavatam, summary course material. So he summarized this third chapter like this. There are 44 verses in this third chapter. So how many questions have we covered of the sages so far?
3.
Who said 3? Ankit. Is it 3 or 4?
4.
We did 4. The first 2 questions. What is the general, what is the absolute good for all humanities? And second question is, what is the essence of all scriptures? So answer for this is bhakti. So that's basically for verse from 1.26 to 29 verse talks about bhakti. So 1 and 2 answers is bhakti and the bhakti process. And the fourth question was answered before the third question. Fourth question is about the adventurous avadas, which we saw about the Purusha avadas. But actually, as one way it is correct, because this Purusha avadas is continuing in this chapter also. Purusha avadas is continuing here, 1 to 5 verses. And then we talks about 22 incarnations. So that's the fifth question. So third chapter talks about basically additional 2 more answers. The fifth question about the Leela Avadas, transcendental pastime of the Lord. And the last question is, anyone remember the last question?
Yeah. Where did the dharma has taken
After Krishna left this material world, where did dharma take shelter? So that 2 questions are answered in this. Okay, right. As I said, the first 1 to 5 verse talks about these 3 levels of much more details about these Vishnus. Karna-Daksha, Garbho-Daksha and Shiro-Daksha Vishnu. And 6 to 29 talks about 22 incarnations of the Lord. And also 30 to 34 talks about the Virat Rupa, the imaginary form of the Lord. And 35 to 36 describe how we can understand the Lord. What is the qualification for us to know the Lord? How we can worship Lord favorably. So some of the inquiries, meant for that. And 40 to 44 glorifies Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, because this is related to the last question, that Bhagavatam is the shelter for dharma after Krishna left this material world. So this is the summary of this chapter 3, which is titled as Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Okay, so the Supreme Lord accepted the form of the first Purusha for creating the universes from Mahatattva and other elements. Anyone wants to read? Or should I read? Sutta uvacha jagre paura samrupam bhagavan mat adibhi sambhutam shodha sakalam adau loka shritashyam. Sutta said, in the beginning of the creation, the Lord first expanded himself in the universal form of the Purusha incarnation and manifested all the ingredients for the material creation. And thus, at first, there was a creation of 16 principles of material action. This was the purpose of creating the material universe. So this is the same thing, we saw that Mahavishnu lying there, and he is through his glance creating, agitating this material skies and then creating the 16 elements. I already put the chart, right? The 16 elements. So they broadly covers the Panchatattva. Sorry, not Panchatattva. Panchabhuta. What are the Panchabhuta? Earth, water, fire, ether, and air. That is Panchabhuta. Then we have 5 knowledge acquiring senses and 5 working senses. And then, so this becomes 15, right? And then 5 tanmatras.
Sense objects.
Yeah, there are sense objects like touch, sight. These are 5. Equivalent to the working, knowledge acquiring senses. So they become 20. Right? But the 16 elements are basically the Panchabhutas, the 10 senses, and mind. And mind.
Yeah.
These become the 16 elements. If you want, I can share that material one on our Google Doc. I will share that.
Yes, please, Prabhu.
Yeah. So the 3 Purusha forms the Lord. The Bhagavad Gita states the personality of God as Sri Krishna maintains this material universe by extending his primary person. So this Purusha form is the confirmation of the same principle. The original personality of God at Vasudeva or Lord Krishna, who is famous as the son of King Vasudeva or King Nanda, is full with all opulences, all potencies, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. So what is this called? The Bhagavan. It talks about the 6 opulences of the Lord. As part of his opulences is manifested as impersonal Brahma, Paramatma. This Purusha features the same personality of Godhead. So Krishna is the original Paramatma manifest. The 3 Purusha features affect the material creation, and his form is known as Karana Daksha Vishnu, is the first of the 3, and the other are known as the Garbho Daksha Vishnu and Siroy Daksha Vishnu, which we shall know one after other. The innumerable universes are generated from the skin holes of this Karana Daksha Vishnu, and in each one of the universes, the Lord enters as Garbho Daksha Vishnu. So I already explained these things, right? Is there any question on this? We are already clear on this.
Yeah.
Then what is the role of Nitya Baddha? Anyone knows what does Nitya Baddha means? This is a Sanskrit term. We generally discuss this. Nitya Baddha simply means conditioned soul. Baddha means conditioned, bonded. Nitya means eternal. We are all the time eternally conditioned. We are conditioned soul. In Bhagavad Gita is mentioned that the material world is created at certain intervals and again destroyed. This creation and destruction is done by the supreme will because of the conditioned soul or the Nitya Baddhas. So the Nitya Baddha or eternal conditioned soul have the sense of individuality. Why are we conditioned? Because we are having this ego, ahankar. That's the false ego we talk about, which dictates them the sense enjoyment. It gives us the me and my topic, me and mine, everything is for me. So the false ego, which they are unable to have constitutionally. So, but actually the Lord, He is the Bhoktaram. Lord is the only the enjoyer, and all others are to be enjoyed. Everything else is to be enjoyed. But we think everything is there for me for enjoyment. That's where the problem is. So we still continue to live eternally as Nitya Baddha. So once we start understanding that we are the servitor of the Lord and everything is for the Lord's enjoyment, that's where we change our path. The living being are predominated enjoyers, but the eternal conditioned soul forget of our constitutional position, have strong aspiration to enjoy. The chance to enjoy matter is given to conditioned soul in material world, and side by side, they are given a chance to enjoy what is our real constitutional position. So we can take ourselves, no, we are better than the other conditioned soul because we are trying to get the knowledge. So we are the fortunate living entity. These fortunate living entity who can catch the truth and surrender unto the lotus feet of Vasudeva after many, many births in the material world. Bhagavad Gita verse, what is that? There are two verses related to this. Manushanam Sahasreshu,
Bahunam
7th chapter.
Bahunam Janmanamante.
Then Bhagunam Janmanamante, again 719. Bhagavad Gita verse is there. So after many, many births, we are coming there to join. No, we want to get liberated. We want to enter into the kingdom of God. So such is the fortunate living entity. So after this, such fortunate living entity need not come again within this material creation. We want to go back to the spiritual world. But what happens to the unfortunate people? Unfortunate comes back to this material world which is created. It is said, once the universe is created, the lifetime of Brahma is 311 trillion years and 40 billion years. Earthly years. That's the lifespan of Lord Brahma. So how many lifetime a man keeps on doing? But still, if you're not going back to Godhead, you will all go back to the Mahavishnu's pores. So Mahavishnu breathes out through the pores the universes. And when he breathes in, that's the lifespan of Brahma. So then we all become dormant. We all enter back into the body of Mahavishnu. We lie dormant over there. And again, after 100 years of Brahma, then again he starts creating. He again starts creating the material world, the Mahatattva. So, but those who cannot catch the constitutional truth and again merged into the Mahatattva at the time of annihilation of material creation, when the creation is again set up, this Mahatattva is again let loose. This Mahatattva contains all ingredients of the material manifestation, including the conditioned soul. So when the material world is created, so this conditioned soul which is there within the Karana Daksha Vishnu, we are also coming out to this material world. Primarily, this Mahatattva is divided into 16 parts. Maybe in another form, not really in this form. No, actually, Brahma's creation starts and we get the form. Primarily, this Mahatattva is divided by the gross material element, 11 working instrument or senses. So as I told you, 11, there is 5 knowledge acquiring sense and 5 working senses and mind put together. And the 5 gross material element like Panchabhutas. So it is like a cloud in the clear sky. The Mahatattva is like a cloud. In the spiritual cloud, the effulgence of Brahma is spread all along, and the whole system is dazzling in spiritual light. The Mahatattva is assembled in some corner of the vast, unlimited spiritual sky. And the part which is covered by the Mahatattva is called the material sky. So it is said this material sky is just 1/4 of everything. If you take as a whole, 3/4 portion is the spiritual sky, and only 1/4 is the material sky. This part of spiritual sky called the Mahatattva is only insignificant portion of the whole spiritual sky, and from within this Mahatattva there are innumerable universes. All these universes are collectively produced by Paranoid Daksha Vishnu, also called as Mahavishnu, who simply throws his glands to impregnate the material sky. Okay, so this chart also is talking about the 16 elements, the 5 gross elements, Panchabhuta, earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And these are the knowledge acquiring senses. There are 2 types of senses. One is knowledge acquiring senses, Jnanendriya, and Karmendriya. Karmendriya is called the working senses, hands, legs, voice, anus, and genitals. And these are the objects, Vishaya, objects that are said to be the Tanmatra. These are the objects of the senses. For the eyes, the object is the form, ear, sound, nose, smell, tongue, taste, skin, touch. Right? So how many are these? 20. Right? Then we have the pradhana and the mind. All right. Okay, someone wants to read the next verse. Bhupesh, maybe want to give it a try?
Yes, Prabhu. Yasyam bhasi shayansya yoga nidram vitanvatah nabhi hridam bhujat asit brahma vishwasrajam pati.
Pati.
A part of the Purusha lies down within the water of the universe. From the navel lake of his body sprouts a lotus stem, and from the lotus flower atop this stem, Brahma, the master of all engineers in the universe, becomes manifest.
So this is clear, right? So the next level of Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu is mentioned here. So, yeah. Continue.
First Purusha, Karmodakshaya Vishnu. The first Purusha is the Karmodakshaya Vishnu. From his skin holes, innumerable universes have sprung up. In each and every universe, the Purusha enters as the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. He is lying within the half of the universe which is full with the water of his body. And from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu has sprung the stem of the lotus flower, the birthplace of Brahma, who is the father of all living beings and the master of all perfect desires. There are 14 divisions of the planetary systems and the earthly.
Yeah. You're reading from the straight from book, is it? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, that's fine.
Planetary system. Within the stem of the lotus, there are 14 divisions of the planetary systems, and the earthly planets are situated in the middle. Upwards, there are other better planetary systems, and the topmost system is called the Brahmaloka or the Satyaloka. Downwards from the earthly planetary system, there are 7 lower planetary systems inhabited by the asuras and similar other materialistic living beings. From
Just 1 second, please. Let's see this planetary systems. So are we clear till now? I think everyone can understand. Any questions on this? Which we already explained. From Garbhodaksha Vishnu comes Lord Brahma, and there are 14 planetary systems. So this is the name. Lord Brahma is coming there. And these are the 14 planetary systems: Satyalok, Tapalok, Janalok, Maharlok. So different type of people live over there. And Swargalok, these are the heavenly planets. There are the 33 million demigods and demons. Then Buharlok, where Rakshasa and ghosts reside. And then Bhulok, this is where the earthly planets. And these are all the Patala loks. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, lower planets. So generally they are said as higher, middle, and lower planets. Subtle, subtle, and gross, and gross.
Sorry,
Which
Prabhu.
Sorry. Which one is the Shiva's lok here? Lord Shiva's lok?
Lord Shiva, that Sadashiva log is part of the spiritual world, not the material world.
No, no, Prabhu. Rudra lok. Rudra.
Huh? Sorry?
Rudra lok. So we
Rudra,
have,
no?
so from the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, we have Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Brahma, and Rudra, right? So Brahma Loka is the Satya Loka. Then what is the Rudra Loka?
No, Durga is in charge of the entire log.
No, Rudra.
Rudra. I've not heard of any Rudra log.
So maybe you're talking of Mahesh Dham. Mahesh Dham is above.
Sadashiv Lok, yeah, it's in the spiritual world. Mahesh Dham is in the spiritual world.
No, Prabhu, if you go back to this one, na, Prabhu, yeah, I know Sadashiv Lok is there. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, if you go back to this one, Purusha Avatar, from the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, we have three entities: Shirodakshaya Vishnu, Brahma, and Rudra.
No.
Oh.
Hello. Hello.
Talk in this slide.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. So Shambhu is from the Karuna Dakshai, from the
Shambhu is nothing but the glance. I told you.
Yeah,
No?
yeah.
So he
Yes.
is Durga Devi. Durga Devi, this Shakti Dham. Actually,
Maya.
this universe is a Shakti Dham.
That's also
She is the
material.
warden.
Still
Durga,
material.
material. That's a material.
Yes, yeah, that actually I was asking about the
The previous
Shiva
slide.
Sadashiva
abode
Lok.
in this one, in the
No, I
material.
have not heard of any Rudra Lok.
Okay.
I think that slide is gone.
What is the reference of Rudra Loka, Prabhuji? Where you heard this?
No, I was checking this Purusha Avatar chart where the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, we have three entities which are emerging from the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, right? So one is the Shirodakshaya Vishnu, then again the second is the Brahma, and the third is the Rudra or Shiva, whatsoever you want to call. So Brahma is the Satya Loka. So there has to be some Loka for Shiva. So that is what I was asking.
Satya Loka is also still material, no? See, you understand major things. Material, then Brahmajyoti, then spiritual planet, then Mahesh Dham, and then spiritual Vaikuntha
Yes.
planets.
Yeah.
So whatever we are speaking, it is still
In the
material plane.
Satya Loka is still part of material world only, right?
Yes.
Satya Loka.
Yes. Satya Loka is part of material world.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhu. Maybe I had some confusion here. So
Yeah,
you can
Shambhu
share.
is nothing but she is the glance and he is the consort of Durga Devi, Lord Shiva, right?
Yeah.
So, but this, he is, if you see Lord Shiva, he is a liberated person. He has nothing for him. So, if you see, is most of the thing, he has his ashes and he sits in, he has nothing material opulence at all, right? And also, he is in the form of linga. If you see in the temple, also, he is in the form of linga. Right, Durga Devi is this universe is under her control.
Yes.
So that's why we call this Durga. Is the fort. Durga means she is holding the fort, prison. We are all the prisoners here under her, and she filters. As the other name is, she is the Maya Devi. She filters. Her service is to filter us and send back to Krishna. And even if you are if you are a devotee of Sadashiva law, if you go to that part of spiritual law, there also they meditate and Krishna, Lord Shiva gives them, guides them, towards the Vishnu. Shambhu, it said, said to be the topmost Vaishnava.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Are we clear? We'll go back to our discussions. Yeah. So the 14 planetary system, more detail is given here. So it's an abode of Lord Brahma. So these are the Satyalok, abode of Lord Brahma, Tapalok, abode of 4 Kumaras, Janalok, the Prajapatis, where they generate the progenies, Dakshapati, all these people are there. In Janalok, Jana means people, Janalok. These are all highly sages. Then Maharlok, where Bhrigumuni and Prajapatis are there. And then comes the Swargalok, it's the abode of demigods. Then Boer, it's a ghostly spiritual area. It's a very more subtle place. And Boer Log is where it's gross and subtle combination. The abode of human beings and other mortals here. And then Atala, Vitala, Sutala, these are all the lower planetary system.
So Prabhu, you said higher planets is subtle. That means there is no body there.
No, body is there.
But why it says higher planets are subtle?
More subtle mean you will not see in the earth. If you take, there's a water. Even the earth there are subtle, right? So we
Yes.
cannot see the air, right? Air is one of the thing, but it is there in the material world also, right? So like in our body also there is subtle elements. We cannot see our mind. We cannot see our false ego. So these are all said to be subtle element. So there is subtle within this material world, and the more go higher, more subtle in nature they are. There will be some element of gross also, but more subtle will be there. They have a body there. It's not that they are not having a body. Okay, brother?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I just wanted to share another thing. Okay, let's finish off this verse and then I will share. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Can you continue, Prabhu? Function
Yes,
of
Prabhu.
three Purusha. Can you read it from here? This would be shorter version than the purport.
Okay, Prabhu. Functions of three Purushas. Therefore, the conclusion is that the Purusha Avatara is manifested in the three features. First, the Karnodakshai, who creates aggregate material ingredients in the Mahatattva. Second, the Garbhodakshai, who enters in each and every universe. And third is Kshirodakshai Vishnu, who is the Paramatma of every material object, organic or inorganic.
Yes, okay,
Result
I
of
will read. Results of understanding the three Purusha avatars. One who knows this planetary fashion of personality of Godhead properly, and thus the knower becomes free from material condition of birth, death, old age, and disease, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Anyone can relate this to the verse in Bhagavad Gita? Bhakti Shastra students. The clue is it's coming in the 4th chapter. Okay, just note down 4.9. Janma Karma Chame Divyam. Where it is talking about the Lord's birth and his activities are more transcendental in nature. So one who understands this, they don't need to come back to this material world. So in that purport, Prabhupada writes, if we clearly understand about this Purusha avatars, about the Karnodaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Sirodaksha Vishnu, and the activities of that, if we are clear in understanding, then we are not going to take a birth in this material world. That's what Prabhupada promises there. All right, what is discussed in this sloka? In this sloka, the subject matter of Mahavishnu is summarized. The Mahavishnu lies down in some part of the spiritual skies by his own will. Thus, he lies on the ocean of Karana, and from where he glances over the material nature, and Mahatattva is once created. Thus, electrified by the power of the Lord, the material nature at once creates innumerable universes, just in due course as the tea decorates itself with innumerable grown fruits. So after the glance of Mahavishnu, only this get agitated, and the analogy is given there, how a tree is giving full of fruits is how the manifestation happens. The seed of the tree is sown by the cultivator, and the tree or the creeper in due course becomes manifested with so many fruits. Nothing can take place without a cause. So that's why it's called a causal ocean. Karana. Karana means cause. Causal ocean. Karana ocean is therefore called the casual ocean. Karana means casual. We should not foolishly accept the atheistic theory of creation. The description of the atheistic is given in Bhagavad Gita. The atheistic does not believe in creator, but he cannot give good theory to explain the creation. Analogy, the material nature has no power to create without the power of Purusha, just as Prakriti or woman cannot produce a child without connection of a Purusha or a man. So the Purusha impregnates the Prakriti. So the material, this Mahatattva is considered to be the Prakriti or the feminine feature, and Mahavishnu is considered to be a male. And the analogy is given how a child can be produced through the women to a man. The creator behind creation. We should not accept milk from the fleshy bag of the neck of a goat, although they look like breasty nipples. Similarly, we should not accept any creative power from the material ingredient. We must believe in the power of Purusha, who impregnates Prakriti or nature, because the Lord wished to lie down in meditation. The material energy created innumerable universes at once, and in each one the Lord lies down, and thus all the planets and their different paraphernalias were created at once by the will of the Lord. The Lord had unlimited potency, and thus he can act as he likes by perfect planning. Although personally he has nothing to do, no one is greater than him or equal to him. That is the verdict of the Vedas. So all universal planet system. Okay, this is the next verse. Okay, I will stop here. We already crossed 4 minutes more. Yeah, I know this may be little difficult subject to grasp, but take a simple understanding. 3 levels of Purusharthas: Karma, Dakshina, Vishnu, Garbha, Dakshina, Vishnu, Siva, Dakshina, Vishnu. And each one of them has a role to play. And there are different levels of Paramatma. And this is basic creation. The topic of creation. One of the topics in Bhagavatam mentions about creation. All right, I will stop here. Gangavad Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Any
Prabhu, I had
questions?
one question, Prabhu. Have we discussed Kumaras, Prabhu? Who are the 4 Kumaras? Or are we going to discuss in future?
We'll go step by step, Prabhu. So that will come under the 22 incarnations.
Okay, Prabhu. And I just wanted to check, Prabhu, because I did not attend the last class, so just wanted to check.
No. That will come under the Leela Avadars.
Okay,
So we'll
Prabhu.
start from the 6th verse onwards. 6 to 29th verse talks about 22 incarnation. And one of that first incarnation we are talking about is Kumaras. Brahma is already there.
Yeah. Okay.
Brahma is not an incarnation. He is said to be the first living entity who appeared from the navel of Vishnu, Garbha Dakshina Vishnu. All right.
Prabhu, I have one question.
Yes, please. Those who want to leave or something, please, if it's already 9. Those who want to stay for questions, I'm happy to continue. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, so Prabhu, all these conditioned souls, right? But initially, all these conditioned souls were in the spiritual world, and then these desires happened, and that's why he chose these people has to leave the spiritual world and have to put them into this material world, so that they can fulfill their desires. Is that how all this happened? Eternally, something would have happened, right? To
Yeah,
come to
that's,
this conclusion.
he didn't choose. We choose.
Hmm. How
It's
that
not
happened?
Krishna.
Like, we were all part of God, right? How this happened? Like people, those soul, the parcel of the God. How did we all decided that okay, we want to enjoy, right? How did he identify that this is something is happening within Mahavishnu? Uh, and then he made a call. Okay, I have to create a material for them so that I send all the souls there so that they can gratify all their enjoyment desires, and also I'll come and educate them, and then I will get back to the spiritual world, right? There could be some story. Is there any story like that why he has chose?
I don't know any stories there. Just one second.
Okay. Yeah.
Just one second.
It was, I was just curious, right? How these all souls are picked